What is up, everyone? And we are doing a special edition of Rep Talk today. We're getting the band back together from Extra Minutes from 2 years ago, and we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl, our fantasy basketball league, and just life in general. All right, let's just talk about our Super Bowl predictions first. I mean, that was crazy. But first off,
Yes.
here's Dan.
What's up?
He
I'm
was on
Dan.
the Extra Minutes
Yeah,
podcast
I'm an
a few years
OG,
ago. He's the
OG
OG.
from high
Ryan
school.
currently is at a restaurant right now. He'll be calling in shortly, though. We'll have a few Collins.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty much let's just talk about our Super Bowl predictions. I mean, this was 2.5 years ago, by the way. The Rams taking on the Bengals.
How much has changed since then?
How much has changed since then is right. I mean,
I mean, both teams are kind of in the
dude,
gutter,
they're in the gutter. They're both teams are, I believe, both of them right now are
out the
under
playoffs.
500.
I think Rams just got 500.
Yeah, 5-5 Rams and then 4-7 Bengals. I mean, two teams that you would have thought these. I mean, the Rams. I think I made the prediction a few years ago. They lost all their first round picks.
Oh yeah,
So it's
they
like
got the Super Bowl
their
though.
future. They got their Super Bowl. That was the thing. So we did get it all right. The Rams did win
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, but right,
I think I predicted the Bengals, but
yeah, you predicted the Bengals, but and Eli Apple being the MVP for some fucking reason.
Oh, that was
Some
my guy back then. I
reason.
used to love Eli Apple.
Yeah,
Is he on the team anymore?
honestly, probably not. He's the worst
Nah.
cornerback ever.
I just remember I saw like a clip of him like getting cooked after like talking smack, and I was like, nah, that's my MVP right there.
He is on the Chargers, so he's in LA right now.
Oh damn, okay.
But yeah, I
Oh,
mean that
we just got
year
a
was
call in.
just we just got a call in from Amir
Let's see, will he
for
join
the
this time?
fantasy basketball league, which we will get to later. This has been
Yeah.
a
But yeah, no,
crazy day right now.
no, actually been a crazy day. That's like the big part of this podcast. But yeah, no, honestly, though,
We had
that
plans to
Bengals,
talk about this league because it's a pretty
yeah,
exciting league. But
and then
after today, the
they have the
league has changed.
podcast. They have the podcast just absolute mania. But yeah, no, that Super Bowl was actually kind of crazy because it was close, right? And then there was that holding call at the end, right?
Yeah,
It
no,
was
and
like Amir said, "I'm just an innocent spectator in the crowd."
so we have a spectator, but he'll be called in pretty shortly for the
For the
fantasy
basketball
basketball
talk, of
segment. But first
course.
off, we just gotta talk about the Super Bowl though, because I mean, me and Ryan got it right, but I did say 55-6, Rams will beat the Bengals. Obviously, that did not happen. It was
You
a
said
very, very close
55-6.
game. Yeah, I said 55-6.
What did I say?
I don't even. You said Bengals would win in a close one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Bengals were good. It was close, right? What was the final
It
score?
was I think it's like 23-20, right?
Yeah, I just remember at the end, like the Bengals had a chance to score, and then there was like the holding call that they didn't call.
Yeah, 23-20.
Damn,
The Rams won,
that was
but
probably like the last. That was probably the
I
best Super Bowl in
did.
recent years.
Yeah, but I did predict though that the Rams would have a fall off. I mean,
Yep. I mean, I think we could all
they
see
they
that,
lost everyone. I
honestly.
mean, every single person from
The
that core has just not been the
the only
same, or just they lost them.
the only bonus is they got Puka, but that's
They
really
did
it.
get
That's the only
Puka,
consolation. But like, I mean,
but
realistically,
that
that
was
receiving duo now is kind of crazy. But I mean, Stafford's like he's dying, and then they have no defense anymore.
no, yeah. I mean, let's see when Puka was. I mean, I thought he was like a fifth round pick, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he
fifth
he, he
round
was
pick.
super late. Yeah, third day guy.
But yeah, I
But
mean,
I
at
mean,
least
he
they
he broke rookie
capitalized on that.
records. Kind of got injured this year. Same with Cup. I mean, Cup hasn't been the same since that year either. But
He
I
has
mean, like
not
when he
been the
plays,
same. That was his year.
he's elite. The problem is he can't play anymore, really.
He can't.
But
No,
I
he
mean,
really can't. I
yeah. I
mean,
mean,
revisiting these teams, I mean, the Bengals have been losing in all these 1-point score games.
oh yeah. No, I mean the Bengals. I mean, they're about to have a triple crown wide receiver, arguably like what, like top two, top three quarterback in the league just on stats, and they're still not going to make playoffs. That's insane.
That is insane, yeah.
Like not even 500 talk. They're like 4-7.
And also, remember when they kept tweeting out, "This is why you draft a kicker." Look at
Oh
what
my
that
God.
kickers has done for them. I mean, look
No,
at the
I mean
last game.
only
That
so
is
much
the sole
a kicker
purpose
can do
of
for you.
losing.
No, actually. And like I mean every game they played, like they've been playing good, but they just I mean their defense has really been the issue.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals have just been
Oh, we just got a call in.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Tashman. What are you doing here?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the Super
Currently,
Bowl
the Super Bowl. I mean,
2022.
you're kind of the
2022.
closest
Which
one to
one
being
was that, the
right. I mean,
Rams?
yeah,
Yeah.
Rams Bengals. You're the closest one to being right. You said a close Rams win. I said a Rams blowout win. Dan said a close Bengals win.
Oh, so I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right. I mean, I was right
course I
too, but
was.
I said 55-6 Rams, and that was obviously not the case.
That's an insane prediction for a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it's the same.
No, I respect. Honestly, I respect going to bat for your guys though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if the Falcons can't be there, I mean, you might as well root for the Rams, right?
Look, the Falcons this year.
They've been
Our
good.
I
joke.
mean,
They lost to the
How
Broncos.
about can we talk about the Cardinals though? MVP Kyler.
dude, MVP Kirko chains.
We got MVP Kyler, best rookie in the NFL. Like, don't look at his yards. Just look at like just the skill. Where did my cam go?
But
We're
we
back.
the Falcons just have to fire
I mean,
their
okay,
defensive
you guys are
coordinator.
kind of
This is
locked in the playoffs.
embarrassing.
Y'all are kind of locked in the playoffs. Like,
We
let's be
are
real. Like,
locked, but like I'm so
the
pissed because look at what Young Hoku did or Young
oh
Wei Fu.
Young
It's
Hoku,
like
yeah.
3 missed field goals and a loss by 3 to the Saints.
He was elite at the start too. He was making crazy field goals at the start of the year.
He was the most accurate kicker of all
Yeah.
time at one point. Now it's like
I mean, you guys are kind of safe now. Your only comp was the Bucks, and they lost Godwin, and they're kind of falling off now.
and Mike
So-
Evans they did too. They lost
Yeah,
to
the
Mike
Saints
Evans as
just had a
well.
blowout win.
Yeah, the Taysom Hill, like actually a legacy game for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
Saints stuff.
Yeah, Saints also. I mean, they had that like that 2-0 start.
They
Everyone
did
thought they were-
fire Dennis Allen, but
I mean, it's
that's
too late.
They
Too
lost
late. I
a
mean,
lot of people, like
any-
Rashid Shaheed.
Any team building around Derek Carr, I mean, like let's be real.
No, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cooked.
They were good at the start, but then they just got all their players injured. Demario
Yeah, everyone got
Davis,
hurt. Yeah, like Olave had like a concussion or something like mid-season.
Olave
like,
too. I mean, Rashid Shaheed is out for the year.
yeah, it's just
Olave
it's all
might
going
as well
down.
be out for the year as well.
I mean, it's probably good for them because like realistically, like they need like a franchise quarterback.
They
Like,
literally went to Spencer Rattler. Like that was the stupidest decision ever. Like you were on a loss streak already, but why would you put him in over Derek Carr?
No, insane. Actually, I mean, Derek Carr has been kind of not great.
But
I don't know what word to say
Spencer
there,
Rattler over him.
Yeah, Spencer
He
Rattler.
was
I mean, yeah.
benched
I mean, it's
for-
kind of it's the
That's
same
crazy.
deal
He
with
was
like the
literally benched for freshman Caleb Williams at Oklahoma. After
Yeah,
being
no.
touted as the number one prospect, going to be a future number one pick in the draft. Like, and then like Caleb Williams, just a no name.
I mean that whole division. I mean, without the Falcons, that division is completely cooked. And even the Falcons, like they've been good, but they haven't been like elite.
Well, I mean, there's a few calls that really like got them, like the Broncos. It just gave them the momentum.
Broncos have been
And then
really
the Seahawks
good.
took us by surprise. I mean, we went into that Seahawks week thinking we were going to beat them up, like
Mhm.
destroy them, and then
And I mean,
we got
Seahawks
destroyed.
are like a sneaky team. Like they're not like great. Like you can easily beat them, but if you don't prepare, it's like they can easily.
Oh, and give
cook
me
you.
a break with the Saints. Oh my gosh, I
Oh,
can't
that
believe
Saints
it.
game
Like
was so bad.
I was like, we just like did not prepare for them at all. We thought that since all their wide receivers and all their defense was out, that we had the easy win. So they
And
just
then,
decided to like play like patty cake at practice.
Oh yeah.
And then
nah.
2 misses 3 field goals, which made us lost. But like still, that's not the point. We should have blown them out. But they
Yeah.
decided to like play patty cake in practice.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like realistically, like the Bucks on paper would have been the best team just with their receiving core, and Baker's been playing good, but they got hurt. Panthers are a joke. Saints are pretty much a joke at this point. Besides like that Taysom Hill game.
The whole NFC South is a joke.
Yeah, realistically, I mean,
No.
the Falcons are dangerous now. The Falcons
Hey,
are.
They
the
just got
Panthers
blown out
beat
by
the
Bo
Giants.
Nix and the Broncos.
All right,
What?
Bo Nix has been good. Bo Nix is like offensive rookie of the year.
What are those
I
excuses?
feel with the
What are those
Broncos though,
excuses?
like it was supposed to be a 14-6 game at that point, but then like 2 calls just pushed us back so far. And that gave them the momentum. 28-6
A
and
real
14-6
team
are
doesn't
very
lose those
different.
games. If you guys want to be a
Yeah.
good team and a real team, you don't lose those
No,
games.
a real team like the Cardinals wouldn't lose that game.
Look, I'm saying dark horse Falcons.
I mean, okay, can we talk about like I mean, realistically, we talked about my team, we talked about Adon's team. Like, let's talk about what's going on with the Dolphins.
Yeah, what's going on with the
No, we
Dolphins?
got hurt. What do you want? Our starting quarterback. We might as well have
No,
Aiden
and
McLaughlin.
then
as
Yeah.
our
he
quarterback.
comes back from concussion protocol and then decides to tackle someone with his head. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and he's like,
Doesn't
I
matter.
am not
Don't
going to
care.
wear a
That's
Guardian
football
cap.
player right there.
That's
Yo,
a-
the Guardian cap they're going to wear is a Cleveland
he said-
Guardians
he said-
Guardian cap.
He said no guardian cap. I'm just going head first into this guy's legs. Like, what are we
I've
doing
had
here?
enough. Nope.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, Tyreek's also been kind of bad, but I mean, you could blame that on the quarterback situation.
And looks like Ryan left being salty about
He's
the
salty.
Dolphins. I mean,
We know he'll be back. We know he'll be back.
yep. Let's get him. We're going to be talking about fantasy basketball shortly, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those
Let's
Super Bowl
get-
predictions were really good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that was probably the best Super Bowl in the past, like what, 5 years, 4 years?
Yeah,
maybe?
honestly, there's nothing.
these Chiefs-
Mahomes.
I mean, these Chiefs Super Bowls weren't great. Honestly, the Chiefs have great games in the AFC, like playoff games, and the Super Bowl comes, it's kind of like they're not great.
Yeah, it's just Mahomes has had a really good grasp of the Super Bowl
I
recently.
mean, yeah, we could do some mid-season predictions for the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Falcons versus Chiefs.
Really, I'm gonna say Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I would have said the Ravens, but after that Pittsburgh game, I'm not sure. I'll go Bills. I'll do Cardinals Bills.
I'm saying Falcons
Nah,
Chiefs
nah,
and
actually no, I'm
Falcons
going
take
Chiefs.
down the
I
Chiefs.
can't bet against Mahomes anymore. I'll go Chiefs.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the Falcons should have beat the Chiefs this year. I mean, that was like that should have been a pass interference on Kyle Pitts, and then you got first down, and then you got a touchdown, and it would have been 24-22 final. We would
I
have
mean,
ran down the clock.
if we're being actually realistic about our guesses, I mean, who is stopping the Lions in the NFC?
I think the Falcons can.
You think? I mean, I think realistically it goes like it realistically goes
Look at
like
the Falcons
Lions.
secondary. The
I
Falcons secondary is night and day now, like from last year.
I think my opinion
We
is
do
like
need a
it's like
pass rush, and we do need a new defensive coordinator, but that secondary is just amazing.
yeah. I mean, I think realistically it goes like Lions, like big gap Eagles, and then big gap
We beat the
like.
Eagles. We beat the Eagles.
Here's the thing, I wasn't scared of the Eagles until like they started turning up these past few games. Like their defense started like cooking again. Saquon is Saquon. Jalen Hurts actually like realized he's a football player. But I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
but like,
Eagles are beatable. I think Eagles are really beatable. I think
yeah,
any
the
like
Falcons showed it.
I think Cardinals, Falcons, I mean a few other teams like even the Niners they could beat the Eagles.
No, yeah. So when should we go to fantasy basketball?
I
I
think
mean,
we take a turn right now.
yeah, I mean, let's just talk about our
Should we set
fantasy
the scene?
basketball league.
Let's not talk about today first. Let's just like set the scene for how this fantasy league's been going so far. Like let's go history, right?
So history, I mean, the first two seasons, the Finland Finnegans, me, won back-to-back titles, and both
I will
years
say
we
that
had
those
some
were
pretty
Mickey Mouse
bad
titles. I'm
starts.
just saying he
No,
beat
they
injured
weren't.
teams. Beat injured
Yeah, my
teams.
team was injured. My team was led by Tyus
What
Jones and
happened?
Trey Murphy, and
Who
then
beat the Finnegans last
COVID
year?
Kyrie.
Who beat the Finnegans last year?
That doesn't matter. Back-to-back champions.
Just so
We are
y'all know,
literally the
my team, the Bronx Bombers, beat the Finnegans in the
after
semifinals last year.
getting destroyed every single other year in the playoffs
I mean,
or
okay,
regular
that
season.
Finnegans Bombers rivalry is alive and well now. I mean, the last season we had like a 6-point game in the regular season, then goes to playoffs. It's a close game until like the last day. I mean, that's a good
Yeah,
rivalry now.
it's a good
But
rivalry now.
I mean,
But then we
there are some
usually
other
have that
players.
rivalry in the West with
Amir.
Amir's team.
I mean, that's the only realistically that's the only team
And
you can have
then
a rivalry
usually
with.
how it pans out is, we always beat them. But that one time they beat us this year didn't look good for us. But then you come back, we beat them again, and that literally set them off track, and we took
I
the
mean,
division.
realistically, the West runs through the Finnegans right now, but there's really no good teams outside of Amir.
It's been running through the Finnegans. I mean, we started 3-6, still went 10-8, and won the division.
I mean, if y'all want to
Had the
hear,
bye week.
y'all can hear some of these teams that the West has to deal with. I mean, we have a team we call them they're called Laheni, and
Yeah,
they're
he's
somehow
so
2 and
bad.
2
He's
with
so bad.
probably the worst team in fantasy basketball I've ever seen, and he's 2 and 2, and
I
he's
don't
only
know. I
been
think
facing West
Ladonis
teams.
Creed
Ladonna,
might be
okay,
the
here's the thing.
worst.
Ladonis Creed is good because he just has a bunch of injured players. He's got like Porzingis, Chris Middleton,
He has
KD
9
now.
injured players.
He has got Zion. I mean, his team is just cooked because no one can play.
He traded for an injured KD.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta admit, I told him to do that.
Oh my gosh, he should have
No,
I
okay.
think that
I think
trade
the
should
problem
have
is
been like something
if
else.
you look at Henny's team, there's no one else to trade for outside of like
No, I
Embiid,
mean,
and Embiid's been terrible.
I think it'd be like KD, and then like instead of Dante DiVincenzo, they should have.
Yeah, I
like
told him.
send.
I told him to get KD and filler pieces, and he went with Dante DiVincenzo for some reason.
That was so stupid.
Like I told him, I was thinking more like
I
Michael
think it should
Porter
have been
Jr.
Cam
maybe.
Johnson. Cam
Yeah,
Johnson, definitely.
yeah. I was thinking maybe like Cam Johnson, like Rob Will. Well, nah, he went with Dante DiVincenzo.
For some reason, he went with Dante
But yeah,
DiVincenzo. But let's just talk about
what happened
this year. I
today?
mean, we have an AP
Yeah, this year.
Elite Eight. We have
Oh,
all
yeah,
this
no,
stuff, but
yeah, this year we usually historically we've been a 12-man team, a 12-man league. This year we decided to add some new faces, and we're up to 16 now, which means rosters are very thin. But a big change this year is that we have had a lot of community involvement. We've got Aiden's Elite 8 every week. Every week he puts in his top 8 power rankings, he gives a
And
little
Finnegan's has been #1 every single week.
I mean, yeah, it's a little biased, but he is 4-0, so you can't really argue.
I'm a
I would
4-0. I'm the
argue.
only team that scored 1,400 plus the last 3 games.
No, I think
And
it's fair to
almost
put you
16.
one. I think the
Yeah.
Bronx Bombers have been getting a little bit biased against. I think that I mean we beat.
You guys are 2-2.
Oh wait, but here's the thing: we beat a team that you put above us, like
Yeah,
that
but
week.
then
That week.
again, I put you guys above a team with the same record that beat you.
Look, okay, I think that's all fair. I after this week when I beat Ryan's team, the Bug Pirates undefeated, I beat 2 undefeated teams back to back. I think we have to put me in top 4, right?
Top 4. I mean, if you
Hey,
do,
if I could beat the
I don't
4-0
know
Bug
about top
Pirates,
4.
you think
You
okay?
probably
If I beat the 4-0 Bug Pirates after beating the 3-0 Southbury XI, I think we have to at least consider me top 4, right? It'd be you, Troy, and then like me and Ryan.
Yeah, but like I think Southbury should just if he wins this week, of course, because if he beats, is he playing
Who's
Fan
Southbury
Club
playing?
this week? Fan
Who's
Club. If
is
he beats Fan Club, I mean, come on. I think
oh,
he
but here's the
deserves.
thing: if I beat Southbury and Buck Pirates, who else is Southbury beating besides Fan Club if he beats them?
I mean, the Fan Club win would be a huge win.
And also, we have to. I mean, we'll get to this in a little bit, but we have to take the new trades into account about how our
We
rosters
do.
have been
But
shaped.
yeah, so today we've had the craziest day in any fantasy sports history.
Oh, actually, yeah, craziest day because I
Like
mean,
in any league I've been in, nothing like this has
oh,
happened.
nothing has ever happened like this. So pretty much to set the scene, we talked about the Elite Eight, but we've also had Ryan and me. We've been breaking some news before it comes out. So we've been talking about like small things coming out. Like if you know Adrian Wojnarowski, of course, he's been the new Woj, and I've been Shams. And Ryan has actually recently retired from breaking these stories. But today we've had a big day for news because let's count how many trades went down today, right? Let's go.
Yeah,
One,
let's
two,
first do that.
three. All right. 1, 2. These were vetoed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. All right. I think we have like 10 trades that went down today.
10
And
trades.
10 trades, all in
And
the span of
also
like a few hours.
before, like the other day,
We had a smaller trade.
Ladonis, the worst team in the league, traded away Jalen Johnson, a top power forward, for Michael Porter Jr. and Patrick Williams. Let's just say that's a start. But what really started this trade block thing that looked like it was the trade deadline was
Hello?
Hello, we've got Ryan called in for the
Ryan
trade
was
talk
called
today.
in for the trade talk. I mean, perfect timing. We just explained the whole gist of the league.
Well, I want to know what team you think had the best trade deadline. There's a
Yeah,
lot
so
that went on.
we
Wasn't
just
a
talked.
trade
The
deadline.
only trade we talked about so far was the Jalen Johnson trade. We're about to
Jalen
get into the
Johnson.
big
But
trades today.
now let's talk about what started all this.
Yeah, let's go back to the very beginning of this. Yeah,
Shea
you can say the trade.
Gilgeous-Alexander traded to the #1 Finnegans.
Yeah, that was
in
a horrible trade.
Yeah, what'd you give up? What'd you give up?
I gave up Norman Powell, Amon Thompson, De'Aaron Fox, and Isaiah Hartenstein.
So
And
I
I
think
got Gilgeous-Alexander and Valanciunas in the process.
consensus around the league is that was a. I think we think that the other team, James, we think he won the trade. But hey,
I
you
think
got
I
Shea.
won the
He's a
trade.
stud. Shea's a stud.
Shea's
so
the
I mean,
best
he
fantasy
can do
basketball
good for you.
player.
That's not true. I mean, we got We got rid of the league with Jokic,
I
Wembanyama,
got
Tyrese
rid of
Halliburton.
Norman Powell. He's on the downturn right now. He's not been doing good. And then
No,
once
I think Norman was
Kawhi's
good to get
back,
off of.
I just got to cash in on both De'Aaron Fox's and Norman Powell's value, honestly. And then Isaiah Hartenstein, I mean, yeah, it's a big blow for me because he's going to be the starting center for OKC come December 1st if he's healthy.
Yeah.
But I think
from
there's a
there,
risk I had to take.
Yeah, from there,
It just like made a whole chain of just trades after that.
From there, we got what I think was the most egregious trade of the day outside of the vetoed trades, which was Southbury XI, a top team in the league, 3-1, traded away Jokic, Zach LaVine, and Jared McCain. And you might think, you give him Jokic, you might lose the trade, right? But his return package was Bam Adebayo, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Maxey, and Josh Giddey. In my opinion, absolute fleece.
Yeah, it's a horrible trade for the other team, not Southbury.
Yeah, I do agree too. I mean, once Tyrese Maxey is back, Jared McCain is just not going to be the same.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
and then Josh Giddey is on and off. Like, you never know what you're going to get from him that night.
All right.
Yeah, on and off.
This is the Abdel Nader fan club here.
Now Abdel Nader fan club is called in too.
So I'll get in front seat. All right, sorry. Yeah. So I saw the trade made by the Finland Finnegans, and I was just like, I was like, all right, I think we need a change here. And Jokic is by far the best fantasy basketball player. It's not really close. And I'm willing to give
Yeah.
up those guys that I got rid of. I get Zach LaVine in return. I have a lot of depth in my squad, so losing the
Do you-
trade wasn't that bad.
What do you think about Jared McCain?
Jared McCain.
Yeah.
I still think he's playing so well that they're not going to.
Yeah, I think
He's
he'll play.
playing well now,
I
but
think he'll play. I think
just
he'll
wait
continue
until
to play well.
Maxey is
just wait until Maxi's back. His minutes
being a
will go
30
down.
plus point guy a night.
But you give him Tatum, Bam, and Tyrese Maxey. Those are 3 40+ point per game guys.
Those are also three guys who have had injury problems in the past.
Tatum?
Not Tatum, but
Yeah,
Bam
and Tyrese. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Jokic has just missed a few games. That's the reason I won against Southbury. He didn't play.
because he had a kid.
Yeah,
He
that's
wasn't
fair.
hurt.
Hey, what if the kid makes him worse? What if he's too tired to play?
Yeah, what if he's too fixated on his kid? He has to get his priorities straight.
Then
I mean,
I'll admit that I was wrong, but I really do see this. I see this trade working out for me in the end.
I think Jokic should be great for you. I think McCain might fall off a bit, but he'll still be fine. I think Zach LaVine. I think he's gonna fall off by the end of the year.
I think I've just been everyone's been doubting on me since the beginning of this league. Everyone came in saying I'd be bottom tier. Now I'm arguably
You
the
up the
best
top.
team in the league.
I mean, I personally
I
think you're
and
better
Finland
than.
Finnegans are the
I think
best.
you're personally better than number one ranked team, the Finnegans. I
No.
think it's been a little bit of
The,
bias
the
think
there.
there's,
trade
like,
the trade
A
today
whole
was
levels to this.
the trade today took a while. I mean, it was originally trying to be centered around Franz Wagner,
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, and Bam. Then he went with Tatum, and then he offered me. He was willing to give me Zach LaVine for it, so I was willing to do it just because Jokic is a guy who can put up 80 a night practically for me. So I wasn't scared to make the trade.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair, and I think you have to be confident in your guys. You know what I mean? Like you make the trade, you have to be confident.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. I'm handing you back to Ryan.
Of course, of course.
All right. Thank you, Abdel Nader fan club.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. This is a great show, and I look forward to hearing about the rest.
All right. It's good to hear from you, Ryan.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you.
See ya.
All right, bye,
All right.
Ryan.
So next trade involves the Finnegans again,
and
and this one took a
just
little
when you
bit to go
thought
through.
they were done with it for the day, they got their guy. Guess what happens?
Yeah.
The
So
Finnegans come back and make another trade.
as you
Trading
know,
away their first round pick.
as the viewers may not know, my favorite player in the NBA is Tyrese Halliburton, and he happened to have Tyrese, and I saw that he got his guy Shea, so I had to hit him up. I'm like, yo, you got your guy? Let's work out a deal. Let me get mine, right? So first, it was a little rough at first because I think he had a little high value on Tyrese, and I had a little bit of a lower value on him. But we ended up working out a deal. Came out to John Morant, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook for Tyrese Halliburton, Clint Capella, and Jeremy Grant. Which I think it's been consensus that this is probably the most fair trade of the
This
day.
is the most fair trade on the deadline. I mean,
Yeah, I think it was absolutely most
Finnegan's
fair.
got two Thunder legends right here. Paul George, part of that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander trade, so it just traces back to Shea now.
Now they're on a team together.
And Russ, yeah.
I mean, it was a great trade. I mean, there's really not much to talk about here. Like, I got my guy, he ended up with his guy, and John Morant's out indefinitely, but he'll be back. He'll be at comparable to Tyrese, and then he gets Paul George, who's an injury risk, but when he plays good.
He's been doing solid this year. I mean,
Yeah.
Then I got Russ. I mean, he's
Russ
been
is a
doing
consistent guy.
better than he's been doing the past few years, though.
Yeah, nothing great, but he's still a good guy to have on your bench. You don't want to drop him. You know what I mean?
No, someone you can't drop. But let's just talk about the Barbarians incident.
Oh,
Of
so
11,
yeah,
19, 24.
after these 3 trades went through, obviously everyone wants to get involved, right? And a bombshell drops. No one knows that Barbarians are trading, and then randomly, the Butt Pirates, the top 3 team in the league, acquires Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Barbarians for Anthony Edwards and Toumani Camara. Kamara. I mean, right off the bat, you could tell something fishy went on there. So obviously, we had a little bit of a crisis. We had to go talk to the league, and then immediately after, the Butt Pirates get Jaden Ivey for Kevin Huerter and Al Horford from the Barbarians. That wasn't anything crazy. That one went through pretty fast. But immediately after that, we all voted to veto that Giannis trade, and then he comes back. And then we come right back with a trade for me, where I ended up trading him Jeremy Socon, Grady Dick, and Jalen Duren for Alperen Sengun. He immediately accepts that. And then Laheni trades Robert Will. Wait, hold on. All right. Yeah, then Laheni trades him Robert Williams III, Goga Batadze, Dennis Schroeder, for Desmond Bane and Jakob Poeltl, who's been playing great this year.
What a just terrible trade right there.
Absolutely insane. We had to have a little bit of a crisis. We had to have a meeting in the group chat. We had to, because I am the league manager, so obviously I have the final say, but I didn't want to veto anything if everyone wanted it to go through. So I brought it to the group. I said, "Yo, I'm either accept all these trades or accept none of these trades. So you guys can vote. If you guys want him to sell
And
all his players
we
for nothing,
overwhelmingly voted to veto the
yep.
trades.
So including my trade, I vetoed that one as well because I am an honest league manager. We vetoed every single trade that went through from the Barbarians. And he wasn't done. They tried to get another trade done with the Butt Pirates for Giannis, but we also vetoed that one. And then we actually had to. I personally had to implement a ban. I told him he's banned from trading for the next week. When he trades again, it has to be a fair trade, and if it's not a fair trade, like what happened today, he's permanently banned from trading for the rest of the season. Which I think
Yeah.
everyone agreed with. That was a fair punishment.
That is a fair punishment. It was a fire sale. Reminds me of Amir's fire sale when I beat him to like take him off the track in the 10 and 8 season.
Yeah, and yeah, he dropped all his
It was a
players to
crucial
waivers.
game, and once I beat him, it showed that I had distance from him in the rankings, and he did not foresee
He could not make playoffs.
him making the playoffs.
So
So he
he had
dropped
to-
everyone. But
Which is,
also, since I
fair.
was the one who caused this, and then guess what? I only get Bojan Bogdanovic.
I mean, I kind of got screwed because I put on waivers for I know Zion and one other player. I forgot. He was a better player than Zion. I end up with Zion, who doesn't play the rest of the year, so I got no one.
No, I literally traded for Bojan Bogdanovic instead of Bradley Beal because I thought that Bradley Beal was going to get taken. But I should have put a claim in for him.
It was
And
between
Southbury got him.
Yeah, it was between Kawhi and Zion for me. I put in waivers for both. Kawhi gets sniped up from someone above me in the waiver wire. I end up with Zion. I'm like, okay, great. He'll be back by playoffs. Never shows up again.
But I do think, did I get MPJ that time too?
I think you might have gotten MPJ. You might have gotten
But
MPJ.
Bojan was my number one pick I got. And
I mean, it was rough, but yeah, hey,
I did not expect, no one put a waiver for Bradley Beal thinking, oh yeah,
Yeah,
one's
no,
gonna
I
get
think
him.
everyone
Then
skipped him because they all thought he'd
Southbury
get taken.
XI got him, the number one team. But we
So
also
he
what
ended up
happened in the championship.
Yeah, he did
Finland
lose. His team
Finnegan 10
choked.
and 8 beat him by 900 points.
I mean, a rookie team. They weren't ready for the bright lights. Not against the season champion.
Not against the former champion.
We all thought the next year that he'd come back and be like the favorite. They didn't make the playoffs that year.
They didn't make the playoffs at all.
Actually, he ended up
right
being,
now it's looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, I think he actually ended up being dead last year after the toilet bowl.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, look, it was a rough year for him. He's coming back strong this year. He had Jokic, got rid of him, got a way better team in response. I think his team is actually
way better.
His team could be favorites after this if he ends up beating his opponent.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens to the Finnegans.
Another trade though, Ladonis Creed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Sabonis for KD, DiVincenzo, and Davion Mitchell.
Yeah, rough.
Oh, no,
or he dropped
Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
But it's KD and Dante DiVincenzo. I mean, I think there could have been more value there.
It could have been more value. He actually came to me personally and was like, "Can I do I accept this trade?" And it was Sabonis for like some of his like bad players, and I was like, "Nah, you can get way more." And then he said, "Who should I go for?" I'm like, "Well, you got to start with KD, add in some players." And he's like, "Bet." And he comes up
adds
with
in Dante
DiVincenzo.
I think Cam Johnson should have been in it, but that's me.
Yeah, and meanwhile, actually, I have some inside information. He was actually in the talks. He was in talks with me for Sabonis, which ended up falling through after the Tyrese trade. But he was also in talks with Amir's team he was asking for a lot more from Amir. He was asking for a lot more. He was asking for Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, who's averaging 50 this year. So it was a little rough.
Yeah, it was a good. This league's amazing. We're happy for the future of it too. After that day, everything changed. But it's time to wrap up now. We have less than a minute left.